Okay, so the obvious take is nobody asked for this. Like, these ultra thin phones look cool or whatever, they make for a snazzy commercial, but what we really want is thicker phones that have less camera bump, but way more battery. The universal thing that everyone wants is more battery, not thinner phones. Facts. This is true. And I could just end this video. It is. So I did. Now, the thing that won't shock you is that the rest of this phone is very familiar. From the front, it's literally a Galaxy S25 Plus, same size 6.7-inch display, 1440p, 120 hertz, plenty bright. It's apparently Samsung was not immune to it. But there's three main things that are actually new about using this phone, which is the cameras, the battery, and the thinness and lightness, which you'll see what I mean. So they've managed to actually
Everyone seems to be giving Samsung a bit of a hard time over this, the new S25 Edge. Is it because it's very expensive and overheats a little bit and the battery's not very good, and also maybe you could get a better phone for similar money, simply for the advantage of it being thinner and a little bit lighter? But then again, they're trying something different. I must admit, over the last few weeks I've been using this, it has grown on me, but I probably wouldn't buy one, at least not for full price. This is £1,099, 1,100 quid basically, same in dollars, which puts it bang smack in between, incredibly lightweight for this size. And that's kind of important. This is a 6.7-inch phone, and while that does make the svelteness of it, the sleekness of it maybe more impressive, I think maybe this is a bit of a missed opportunity. I wish they'd gone for a more compact phone. This is 6.7 inches. I would have loved maybe a 6.3 or 6.5-inch screen, really doubling down on the thinness, the lightness, the compactness that makes it more comfortable to fit in your pocket or your purse or your jacket, however you like. But instead, while it is thinner and lighter, it's still a pretty big phone that will probably stick out the top of your pocket. Still, it is very nice to hold, although it is a bit of a wobbler on the desk. And that's about it. It's thinner, it's lighter. That's the whole USP of
I watched a few S25 Edge reviews before this lucky device got delivered to my desk, and everyone online basically said you have to touch it to believe it. But to be honest, now that it's been touched, I'm just not all that impressed. I mean, I have some questions, like are there balls inside, and what the cooling system's like, and more importantly, is it sense of touch actually is. So believe me when I say, now that I've looked and touched, it's just not as special as it's been cracked up to be. Not special enough to justify the price anyway. And your fingerprint just fine. Thumbs up for that. And like, don't get me wrong, this is a very cool phone with basically the same screen specs and resolution and refresh rate as the Ultra. But since you're missing the larger battery, S Pen, and extra cameras, it makes me personally think that I'd rather keep those extra 2 ounces of weight and use them for something useful. But everyone is different, and that's just like, you know, my own opinion. Even after 30 seconds.
And finally, should you really consider buying it? Or is this actually just a should buy it? I would say this. I think it's completely fine to go for a cool phone at the cost of some functionality. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we make decisions like this all the time, with the clothes we wear, the cars we drive, the bags that would make me very nervous to recommend this. One is the great case dilemma. It's this really counterintuitive thing where if you're buying an ultra-thin phone like this, then you'd probably want a proper hard-backed thick case more than ever. But then if you put a proper hard-backed thick case on, you're then defeating half the point of sacrificing all these features to have a thinner phone. Wouldn't it just be better at that point to go for a thicker phone that is stronger and more feature-rich, and then have a thinner case? And then the second, even bigger issue really is the battery size. Because while I do think that chopping out pro features like telephoto cameras and S Pens is actually completely justified because there are so many people who just will not even touch them, I wouldn't put battery in that same category. I think the vast majority of people, no matter how techie they are, would benefit from a big battery. Like Mum, if we're using that example, she has never once complained about camera quality with her last few phones, but she absolutely runs into battery issues. It's probably like the one.
With all that being said, who exactly is this phone for? And is it actually worth $1,100? That's just $200 less than the S25 Ultra. Well, I think that the S25 Edge is an expensive phone given the battery life and camera drawbacks and even the display drawbacks as well. But that might be perfectly fine if you're just mainly after the big display, the latest software feature ever used. My best advice before writing this phone off as being like a cash grab and something that's not going to be around a long time is just go into the store and use it. Like, just pick it up and just pretend you're using it, because again, you cannot really portray that through a video. Using the S25 Edge has been so enjoyable for me, even as an iPhone user, that I almost just dismissed the battery life woes and the missing telephoto lens. Like, they're important for some, but honestly, for the ones it's most important to, they already have the S25 Ultra. Like, the main person who cares about those camera features like telephoto, and of course, you know, the other features like the anti-reflective display, things like that, those people probably already have an S25 Ultra. They want the best of the best anyways. But still, $1,100 most important to, they already have the S25 Ultra. Like, the main person who cares about those camera features like telephoto, and of course, you know, the other features like the anti-reflective display, things like that, those people probably already have an S25 Ultra. They want the best of the best anyways. But still, $1,100 is not cheap, and unless the feel and the hand is the top priority for you, I just think that you should spend the extra $200 to get the S25 Ultra, or wait for the next Galaxy Fold or Galaxy Flip phone, because those are coming later this year, and that might be something worthwhile. And I have to say, as an iPhone user,
Don't care about any of that, but just want a thin and light premium Android phone, then sure, the Edge is good news for you. Me, this built for one of two reasons. Either Samsung wanted to get ahead of Apple's rumored iPhone Air, so it rushed this out, and/or it's testing the waters to see if there's a market for a device like this before pulling out all the stops and actually trying for the real one. And that wouldn't be out of character for the company. It did much. Then in that respect, I'm glad the S25 Edge exists, because it's a sign that Samsung's design ambition isn't completely dead. That the rumors of an internal
So today I'm comparing the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge versus the Galaxy S25 Ultra, because I generally don't believe the Edge is worth your hard-earned cash. Look, the S25 Edge. Now, before you Samsung Knights start typing angry comments, trust me, if Apple pulled the same stunt, I'd roast them just as hard. The reason why I'm comparing the Edge to the Ultra isn't just because I'm mean, it's because for only $200 more, you get a phone that doesn't hate you. Heck, for $100 less, you could grab the S25 Plus, which has more phone. It's just a phone that prioritizes looking good over being good. And in 2025, when we're paying over $1,000 for smartphones, I want both. If having the thinnest phone at the coffee shop is your biggest priority, and you're willing to carry a power bank everywhere, the Edge might be for you. But for everyone else, save your money or spend a little more, just don't get stuck in the middle with a phone that's all style and not enough substance. The Galaxy S25 Edge, you're not a bad phone. You're just not a phone we needed. And sometimes that's worse. Anyways, you guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
The main advantage that the S25 Edge provides over the Ultra is a much thinner and lighter design. The S25 Ultra on the other hand, worth getting, but otherwise the S25 Ultra is a better, more well-rounded device.
That's happening? Do people not like this thing? Okay, they're not that impressed? Dude, kinda love it. I mean, there's still things that I would wanna fix about it. You know, love it if it had a headphone jack. But like, this is awesome. Yep, that's an HDR. Back to you. Ah yes, the first thing it cost us was battery life. Instead of the 5,000 milliamp hour battery on the S25 Ultra, we have a very similar SoC, but with only a 3,900 milliamp hour battery. This resulted in both a proportional difference in recorded spec. Another thing it cost us was performance. While it has the same 3nm Snapdragon 8 Elite and 12 gigabytes of memory as its bigger brother, and we can see that in any sort of short-term benchmark runs, as soon as we threw 3D Mark Wildlife at it, which runs over and over and over again, you can see that the performance drops off substantially. And this is just down to not being able to fit as much cooling into a tiny, svelte